I've made quite a few videos recently talking about how investing and technology are intersecting, changing what investing looks like. So here are the general theses. You have automation replacing the simpler, more mundane jobs of society. You have artificial intelligence and the promise and peril that it brings. How semiconductors are the new oil from a manufacturing perspective, and how data is the new oil and offers the strongest company multiples. I've been investing for a while now and I have exposure to a lot of tech already. But what in 2022 and beyond do I want to allocate an outsized portion of my new dollars towards? That is the question this video will answer right here. I want to tell you about 3 ETFs that I will most likely be allocating an outsized amount of money to. One ETF focuses on cloud computing and tilts toward mid caps rather than the larger caps, which I think will offer better returns to investors. The second ETF is tilted toward artificial intelligence and robotics. There is no flagship artificial intelligence index yet, which makes shopping for an artificial intelligence ETF a time-consuming process. I'll share the details with you. And the third is an ESG play. Why ETFs and not just single stocks? It's too big of a rant for just this video, so in one sentence, these are investing areas where I want insider expert assistance. So keep that in mind going forward when investing in single stocks versus ETFs. The first place I want help is cloud computing, and the ETF is WCLD from Wisdom Tree. I'm a smart guy, but I really struggle to understand the nuances of cloud and network businesses sometimes. For instance, what kind of technological moat does Snowflake have that it deserves the multiples that it carries? Nobody is getting around that moat if you say so, but I don't really see how. The people who seem to understand investing in this cloud the most are industry insiders, people who know computing first and investing second. I don't know computing first, investing is more of my forte. This is a weakness for me as an investor, so it makes sense to pay a small fee to an ETF that selects a group of stocks for me. Take a look at this cloud ETF from Wisdom Tree, ticker WCLD, 1.3 billion in AUM, 45 basis points on the expense ratio. There are other cloud ETFs, a big 3, let's call them. This Wisdom Tree one, you have Sky from First Trust and CLOU from Global X. But like I hinted at a second ago, WCLD has the lowest average market cap of the bunch. 46 billion average size for Wisdom Tree. First Trust and Global X, it's not even close, 155 billion and 290 billion respectively. The average company in those is 3 or 6 times larger than Wisdom Tree packaged up. I want the smaller cloud companies. I've got plenty of exposure to mega cap tech already. Now take a look at these holdings. Here's some big guys in here that you'd expect to see. You've got PayPal, Square, Shopify, but the majority of these, I'm not gonna lie to you, I can't give you more than 1 or 2 sentence summary of what these names actually do. And these holdings rebalance each February and September. With that shakeup comes a bunch of new names that I also probably know very little about. What I see in the cloud space is a lot of companies who are well known in the technology community, though like I was saying, even before the IPO, really smart people have strong opinions about these companies, whereas I've never even heard of them. Those people have an edge on me as an investor. With an ETF like WCLD, I get the peace of mind that somebody smarter than me is analyzing these advanced tech businesses. We're in the first inning of this cloud computing wave. This is how I'm stepping up to the plate. Second ETF for 2022 is IBIO, the iShares Robotics and Artificial Intelligence ETF. Another area that I don't work in day to day, but I still want all those fantastic investing returns. Again, I'm highlighting this as a new area for me to allocate some money. I already have investments in more familiar names. Running through the holdings of IBIO, I see Xilinx, Apple, Intuitive Surgical, Palantir, names I'm familiar with, and there are a lot of names I'm not familiar with, which is great. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the leadership of iShares and BlackRock, the trusted ETF leader, to help me. I'm acknowledging that this is an area that I want to keep up with all the time. Big picture stuff on the ETF, 420 million in AUM. The fund's been in existence about 3 years, 105 holdings, and performance has it up 50+% in the last year. Wow, that is huge. What's the thesis for IBIO? It's one that's really gripped me, that the automation is advancing rapidly and replacing human workers in every industry across all rank and file. Artificial intelligence will be one of the biggest advancements to human culture ever, as long as we can avoid the Terminator scenario. See my other video if you're wondering what I'm talking about, but nailing these investments requires technical know-how. It's just that simple. AI and robotics firms aren't like the old days of evaluating, say, Kodak based on how much film they sold in a year. We have the companies IPOing with $30 billion valuations. I would rather pay someone a small fee, in this case the iShares standard 47 basis points, to keep an eye on this area for me. Here's a list of some similar ETFs of the genre. I ended up trusting the leader iShares, and iShares is cheaper than most of these too. My third pick for 2022 is KRBN, the global carbon ETF from Crane Shares. Maybe you've heard me talk about them before, my half a dozen videos on this topic alone, but I love this thesis, that the average Joe like me and you can buy into the carbon allowance system, effectively throwing our investing dollars into the ring and forcing big time polluters like utility companies to pay more for being allowed to pollute. So you get it? You get that they're allowed allowance anyway. Because the total number of allowances is capped by the government, each year it gets smaller and smaller and smaller over time. So when investors like us jump into the mix, big polluters end up paying more to be allowed to pollute. And then the thought goes that because polluting costs these businesses money, they're more incentivized to invest in cleaner technology. So why is carbon on my 2022 list? Well, it's been one of the best performing non-leveraged ETFs, up 100% in a little over a year. It hasn't had a single day of net negative redemptions in that year, meaning every single day more people bought into KRBN ETF than they sell out of it. And AUM is almost $1 billion. The ETF currently covers carbon allowances from 3 regions: EU, California, Quebec, which shares a system, and then RGGI in the northeastern US. Let's not be surprised if CraneShare adds the UK to this trio before the end of the year. In 5 years, KRBN might be a $10 billion ETF. Cherry on top, CraneShares might be about to launch an EU version of this fund where European investors can buy into the same ETF formula as we see here in the United States. I have literally dozens of comments on my other KRBN videos from viewers all over the world asking how to participate in this fund, and it could be on the horizon for everyone. So as CraneShares extends this specific philosophy, this specific ratio of futures contracts to regions, I want to have access to that formula. I could trade these futures on my own, sure, EUA futures, CCA futures, it's no problem, but look, I'm busy and I want to automate it. Just like the cloud and robotics, AI, and this one specific pocket of knowledge, I'd like to pay somebody to maximize my returns. Those are my 3 ETFs to allocate outsized dollars to in 2022. What did I miss? Where are you deploying capital in the coming year? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.